Whenever we witness Ta.Crabb play, I think for a lot of us 6 foot short volleyball kings, something in us just blossoms. We're given hope. It's tough, playing volleyball at 6 foot. You are short, which is crazy, but it's true. Everybody, it feels like on the court is like 6'3" and above, just monsters. Some of them literal monsters at like 6'8". And so, yeah, I think what we have here is not only one of my favorite volleyball games of all time for several reasons, but also really instructive for a very wide audience, because we have essentially two tall guys. I think Taylor Sander at 6'5", Kwekel at 6'4", and then both of their defenders that they were playing with, Filho and Ta.Crabb, both 6 foot. We can all learn from this. This is like genuinely one of my favorite games ever. I can't wait to go through it. What I've done is I have edited this game down to very specific moments. I guess you could almost call it highlights. There's a few extra points included in this, just for the sake of keeping the pace of the game. But my goal, one moment, my goal is to take some of these highlights and really break it down. And I kind of have a few for each player throughout the game. And I think as the game progresses, it'll become less about individual plays and more about the game itself, because it is such a close game. And, to start things out, I got to get my pen tool. This is what I do. Drag that over here. Take a little sip of coffee. Let's waste no more time. I apologize for the game footage quality here. Not sure why we're getting AVP broadcasts in 720p still, or why the uploads are in 720p. I would think they have access to a higher quality file, but that's what it is. So this is what we're working with. Make sure my pen works. Pen works. So who we have here? This is Alvaro right here, 6 foot tall, Olympic bronze medalist, I believe, as they mentioned in the broadcast. Kwekel. We've done a number of game reviews at this point with both of these individuals here, both of them out of Florida. I think also, like, being a Sarasota native and being from Florida, like, seeing these two go to the AVP, especially playing in this caliber of a match against like one of the highest seed teams, one of the most famous teams, I think, in beach volleyball in the United States. It was just, it's a lot of fun for us, I think. I think it really brings like the community together. And of course, almost don't even need an introduction. Ta.Crabb, Taylor Sander, some of the most incredible beach players, not only in the world, of course, but especially in the United States. Yeah, let's waste no more time. So again, I've kind of very specifically cut this game up. We've already had 1 point. Currently, Caleb and Alvaro are leading 1-0.
Richly aboard. Just continue.
Serve. I apologize that there's kind of like the broadcast voices in the background. Hope it's not too loud. I hope it's like reasonable.
Every time I feel like he shows up at a tournament, I'm like, how do you get stronger?
Just gets better. Better with age. This ball sent to the middle.
So one thing I really want to focus on in watching Ta.Crabb here is I have so much to learn about approach and like fixing a set when you swing. This is obviously like what he is known for. I've heard it from so many people. Just like, you cannot give Ta.Crabb a bad set. It's not possible. His approach is so good and he is so quick, and his mechanics and his footwork are so good. There's no such thing as a bad set for him. Like, he will fix everything and get a perfect play out of it. And so I really would just want to focus on his footwork here. So first of all, the pass.
How do you get strong?
One thing I need to learn from is, like, look at what he's doing with his shoulders here. I'm realizing slowly but surely that, like, getting that shoulder angle is one of the serious keys to passing well. We see it here, just like the perfect
just gets better.
Pass right to his partner.
Better
and this is like, I think for most people, this is not a good set, because most volleyball players, if I rewind here, They're thinking or expecting their partner to still get a nice set over here. Every single time. They kind of just expect that. Not only is that not always possible, it's not necessarily efficient. And so recognizing that, Taylor starts to move into the middle. I don't know if I can't hear, maybe they called for a middle set or something. But either way, I think it's safe to say, like, this set here is not ideal for most people. Because they're not doing what Ta.Crabb is doing and running into the middle. They start their approach either here or like kicking out and then going in. So this is really instructive, I think. It's just Taylor's ability to get here. But more specifically, see that huge step he takes?
Better with age.
Big step, just like very intentional in the direction of all of his steps. Somebody left a comment on one of these videos saying like it's fun to do these reviews with pro players because they make it look so effortless, and I think it's true. But like, listen, it is not an accident that these guys are the best. Like, all these little things that we see here and that I'm trying to break down, it's like we really take it for granted just how good they are at this and how many repetitions it takes to get there.
Set to the middle.
Yeah, so I think there's probably even more to say about his approach there and why it works so well.
Like that ball, it doesn't matter.
But we have a whole game to watch, so.
Twos.
Also, just being able to hit on the block like that still is
These
amazing. A few more points later, we're now at 2-2. Kwekel's up to serve. He's got his hybrid, hits a higher serve.
The 2024 season together. Playing in several contender series events. Nice pickup from Alvaro.
Alvaro's ability to get that up is amazing.
Tempo.
Yeah,
and that's obviously really tough to react to. Off a block, Caleb goes for the line block here, and it looks like he even holds... I don't know. It's tough because in this case, he catches some of the seam as well with Taylor Sander being kind of towards the line.
Tempo.
Ricochet.
Yeah, and he's used to that, right?
Tough.
That is an indoor kind of move.
And a bronze medalist from Rio in 2016.
Yeah, very similar.
I think this is kind of what you get, like these little short shots over the block. I've talked about these in some of my own games, like how effective of a shot that can be. We kind of see in this case, I think, I don't know, like the defense is now a little sporadic because they're all getting in position and it makes this swing work. So it's a miss from Ta.Crabb, goes out.
Your exact same footprint.
They get the point back. So now we're at 4-4.
It's not a lot for the sport of beach volleyball, though.
Alvaro gets a nice fix there.
There's a good cagey play from Taylor Sander.
And what a shot to the line. This is a little faster pace, so it's a bit harder for me to keep up. But
beach volleyball, though.
So Caleb goes on 2 here, and it looks like maybe it's tighter than he expects. So he goes in for a poke, ultimately. He's not even swinging. Taylor Sander is just absolutely enormous and is literally looking over the net right now and blocks it.
There's a
perfect little, just like, quick little shuffle and reach to get a nice pass out of it. Caleb, on his knees, gets a great set.
From Taylor Sander.
And this turn, yeah, Taylor rightfully probably thinks it's out.
That one
That's
pegs
just a
the
crazy
sideline.
shot.
Easy cover play.
Well, how do you recover from that scramble play?
Highlight of that is almost the set from Caleb. He's really impressive.
Team.
We get an out ball. Caleb also swings out. Now we're at 6-5.
And
We get a 2-ball from Alvaro. Tie it up.
Doesn't matter.
Great shot.
Taylor and Jake.
Yep.
Good swing. Again, these are just kind of like normal plays. I didn't have a lot to say about them. But currently, we're at 7-7.
Fans coming out, everyone hanging out, not just in the stadium, but our outer court coverage. There's a quick set.
It's crazy. There's so much to say about this. It's fun. And it starts before the best part, too. So, first of all, not sure if this is intentional or not. Ta.Crabb passes it basically right in front of himself. So now his partner is running in, ultimately has to go for a bump set, which is making me think this is not intentional, because I think, you know, if they had the choice, they'd be hand setting everything. Maybe at this level, it doesn't even matter, honestly, for all I know. But Taylor makes, this is an important point, and something I'm just now learning as of late, is like, you, especially if you're on the left side, you really have to react to your own pass as far as your approach goes. Does that make sense? Like, so he passes in front of him, and so he has to create distance between him and his partner. Because normally, let's say he's passing to his like 1 or 2 o'clock over here. So if he's standing here, he passes the ball this direction. He can almost just go in a straight line to attack. But now, because he's put it right in front of himself, he knows he has to kick out to create space and then go in. So that's exactly what he does. It looks like maybe the set is tight or something.
Coming out, everyone hanging out, not just in the stadium.
Or honestly, maybe he was just going for a little dink over the net and Caleb is just enormous.
Yeah, but our outer court coverage, there's a quick set.
I don't even know.
Just in the stadium, but our outer court coverage, there's a quick set.
I don't know. I think that's just athleticism. I don't know if there's much to say about that.
Taylor in the final.
We get a serve out. It's 8-8.
At Rich Lamborn's behest, I believe.
Nice pickup.
Yeah, inside out again.
Similar play and a windmill. So kind of like similar points we've seen here. Ta.Crabb, once again, really great at like angling his platform. So even when he's passing so far outside his midline, it still has a good trajectory for his partner. It's a perfect pass. Starts to kick out here and then runs this little route like back inside the net for what is essentially a middle set. And I think what this does, let's see how Caleb reacts to this.
Rich Lamborn's.
So yeah, it's interesting because like Caleb out of the corner of his eye is of course watching the set and trying to watch Ta.Crabb at the same time. So Taylor, in this moment, is starting to kick out. He kind of follows this path. And so as you can see in Caleb's footwork here, he's almost starting to move this direction because he's not necessarily expecting a middle set. This is what's so great about being able to fix any set is you can like, even at 6 foot, when you're 4 inches shorter, you can still beat the block.
Lamborn's behest, I believe.
Looks like it's set a little tight here, but he makes something out of it.
Nice pickup.
Yeah, inside out again. That ball's been
just
read
the
twice.
It's a classic move.
A little windmill for you.
I think everybody's excited about that one.
On his attack, but there's the over the top.
Gotta love it.
Big swing.
Big swing, and it comes off the block there, off of Caleb's block. Got 9-9.
Option again.
2-ball option from Alvaro. You see them do this a lot. Obviously, Miles Partain and Andy Benish, another team that utilizes this a lot. It's becoming a lot more meta recently. Caleb kind of, I would say, I don't know. He's starting to hit a bit of an approach here, so maybe he's not even expecting Alvaro to take this 2-ball. But it's a good enough pass to where he can, nice and high.
Option again.
They get a lot of points like this.
Defensive read. They got a good beat on him.
Alvaro gets a point off the block here. Nice tool. What a serve. Yeah, that's a huge block.
It's just been steady play.
Let's look at what went wrong here. Honestly, this is tough. So I hear Taylor Sander yell angle. The issue is, well, the issue is Caleb. He's like absolutely hovering over this angle, and it's tough because then Alvaro is also sitting right in the line. It's like, where do you have to go? So I think Taylor Sander is probably reacting to the defender here and saying like, okay, he's line, go angle, but Caleb is just absolutely huge here. So I don't know. It's just a really good setup by Caleb and Alvaro, I think.
It's just been steady play, good reads on the other side. Then
yeah, to be fair, Kwekel has come away with a big time stuff in this first set. And now
that's
he's
an
walking
ace down the
away
middle.
That's 4.
So I just want to emphasize something really quick. What we have right now is like Caleb and Alvaro are probably, I forget exactly what it is. They're like low on the seed list, maybe 32nd seed, 30th seed, or something like that. And I'm pretty certain the Taylors here are second seed or first seed, like very high seed. You often see this obviously in tournaments where like in being the highest seed team, you kind of get a break and you get to play one of the lower seed teams, hence the whole idea of an upset, right? Some people already understand this, but me being relatively new to watching sports, it's like been interesting for me to learn. The 30th seed team is now up 13-9 against a team that is expected to absolutely sweep them. So I don't know. I'd be like, obviously I can't interview the Taylors, but I'd be curious to hear if they felt any kind of pressure here because this is tough. It's a great pass.
Kwekel, excuse me.
And Caleb does a great job here. We've talked about this in previous videos of like he decides to peel, which is smart. The set is way off the net. And he gets his feet set. He's like totally doing everything right. I think the the hit here is just a lot higher than he expected, and so he has to kind of swing at it and
An Alvaro from Taylor Sander.
touch. What a pass.
Adding that jump top in. Instead, he goes with the flat.
Recognize the
Yeah, like a cut swing here. Another point, just, I don't know, Caleb's form when he's passing it always amazes me. But like even
Taylor
here,
Sander.
is that ball out?
From Taylor Sander.
I don't even know if that ball is in the
From
court.
Taylor Sander.
Either way, it's close enough in this level of a game where you don't maybe want to let it go because it could have hit the line. Especially, I don't know what kind of wind there is and stuff. But like, yeah, again, just emphasizing like how important that platform angle is. I think like one issue I have is I'm always like trying to get behind the ball when it's not feasible, or like trying to like swing my arms to adjust instead of just like, as I've heard Caleb describe it, like you want to drop the shoulder. And it's like sometimes not even like angling the platform because your arms only have so much mobility like that. It's like also dropping the shoulder to really get down below the ball.
Adding that jump top in. Instead, he goes with the flat.
That's an amazing,
Recognize the greatness of your opponent and move on.
What a shot.
Starting to go over the top.
Right onto the line. Just a good shot. Actually, you know what? Let's look at the defense here. Let's see like why maybe this shot isn't picked up. So it looks like Caleb's blocking angle, Alvaro's sitting line, and maybe Ta.Crabb has done this a few times now where he kind of shoots it over the block here. So maybe that's what Alvaro's expecting. Maybe a seam swing or something, I'm not sure. And that's such a good shot that it honestly just kind of looks out. So I think maybe Alvaro is just like, oh. And it's
starting to go over the top with the...
Yep. So after a couple more points, we have 15-11. So still the boys are up. Nice serve.
Short jump on that service.
What a up, but I think Caleb touches the net here.
Jump on that service pressure from Caleb Kwekel.
Impressive that the refs see that, because that is tough.
Jump on that.
But what a pass.
Short jump on that.
I've seen Alvaro do this. I reviewed one of the games they played at Siesta Key for the SSOVA tournament. Kind of a similar thing. Alvaro clearly really good at this. This idea of like, especially actually only really on a very hard swing would you want to do this, but I don't know, breaking his platform to take enough speed off the ball here and give Caleb a pass that is literally right to him. Look at that pass. Off of a swing from somebody who is recognized as one of the hardest hitters in the AVP.
Service pressure from Caleb
couldn't be a better
Kwekel.
pass.
To this point, haven't had a ton of transition chances. Well, you don't need them, but it's not the desert either.
Now this is tough. Now it's 13-15 off
Nice
of an ace
platform.
like
How
that.
about a little jumpy jump? Alvaro.
Yep,
with
little jump set to throw off the block here. He's now, this is the benefit of if you can sell a jump set really well, especially in this case, Alvaro has been taking 2 balls and getting points off of them, so that's scary. So the block is a little scared now and trying to stay on the 2 ball here.
Out of the sand
and
here.
so he's a little late, I think. He's a little late, and obviously late enough to where maybe not that his block is ineffective, but that their communication is off. And they're just in the wrong spot.
David Vandermeer, would that be right?
Yeah.
Coming out of Michigan.
Somehow
go.
saves
That's
that
right.
pass. Caleb
Nice
reaches
touch
over and
there.
blocks
Open
it,
net.
and nobody's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Communication, the
Can't
unspoken
leave an open net on Taylor Sander. That's for
communication between partners.
It's tough because, like, I don't know. I think it's so easy for us at home to watch this play and be like, come on, you're in the AVP. Score that point. Like, you need it. But it's not so easy at the same time because, like, you have this huge block on you, one of the best defenders in the world. It's like you don't want to just give them a free ball because your partner is currently... Like, I get Caleb's mode of thinking here, honestly. It's like, okay, my partner's in the sand on the other side of the court. I have to attack. All of this is open. You might as well just go for the best shot because if you give them a free ball, they're just going to score and get more momentum.
And take Gibb being a really good delay blocker on people.
So now, after a couple more points, we have a tie game. So what was 15-10, I think, at one point? Now 16-16.
Cool. Of course, his length helped.
It's a nice high roll from Caleb,
Kwekel.
17-16. Ta.Crabb says no, gets it back. It's 17-17. And after an ace off the net where the ball is kind of going outside the line, Not that it would go outside the...
And you notice that?
I don't know. What do you guys think? You think that's in? I guess it probably is. I guess it's probably going to hit line. Again, like in this kind of game, it's like you don't just want to watch that hit the line. You might as well take it.
Gets it.
Look at the
Then
net,
gets the
ladies
ace.
and gentlemen.
18-17. Float to Caleb.
Little
They call
sketchy
that contact.
on that
Which,
contact.
by the way, if we watch this back, this is all legal. This is all fine.
It just looked like
It's weird, but it's fine. This, though, that's weird. That's definitely weird. I think the
Little
ref
bit
is
of a
making
roll.
the right call here.
I like the referee's interpretation.
Agreed. What a pass.
I like that pass.
Man, no kidding.
Crab.
Okay, let's take a look at this because we need to learn.
Interpretation.
First of all,
Is interpretation.
I see a lot of some of the best passers doing this. They like, as they're falling, if it's outside their midline and they're reaching, they kind of start falling and stop just for a moment. They kind of like hover to pass the ball and then they let their momentum fall. This is what we see from Ta.Crabb here. Just emphasizing like getting the perfect pass. He gets up. I wish I could hear what they're calling here so I could like really explain his approach in full.
I like that pass.
I like interpretation.
I like that pass.
Look at this step. This is really what separates
that
his
pass.
approach. He starts going straight. Last second, recognizing that the set is maybe a little outside, even if that's the call. Takes this, he goes 1, 2, boom. Maybe it's 3 steps here, and just does such a good job on that third step before he jumps of adjusting to the set.
Crab.
I think that's so important, and like a lot of people take 4-step approaches, but this is why I think sometimes a 5-step can be helpful. Just you're really able to emphasize on that third step, fixing, you know, your approach for maybe a set that's not ideal or just
like
ends
that
up in a different
pass.
place than you expect.
Crab.
And being able to swing
Into
like
the
that
angle.
past a 6-4 block too. 19-18, clean hand receive off the serve. I wish I could see the serve, but it was clearly slow enough to where he thinks he can do that. People are not happy in the crowd. It's okay. Pick up on the line from
The old
Ta.Crabb.
timers just died inside a little bit.
Wow,
of
what
an
a
overhand.
up from Alvaro. Swinging off the net, off the tape.
Casual play, middle, inside out, no.
Blocks it by Caleb. Oh, so close on that block.
Middle, inside out, no.
I don't know. Maybe it's like, I feel like that's something Caleb could very normally block pretty well. He might just be the fatigue, honestly, from the point. I don't want to say it as though he's clearly incredibly fit. Maybe it's not so much of a problem, but
They stay on Kwekel here.
backwards. What is set? What is that?
KG.
KG from Caleb, sure, but look
stay
at
on-
the set.
On Kwekel here.
There's not even like footwork I can
They stay
talk
on
about here.
Kwekel
That's
here.
just
KG.
being good at volleyball.
During one of those
I don't
plays
know.
up at the net.
Okay, so now we have 19-20. They're up. The Taylors are up, but only by 1 point, and so they call a timeout. And I know from watching the full broadcast, Caleb and Alvaro go back to the box, and their coach is like, listen, we've been doing great scoring out of timeouts, which has been absolutely true, especially like Caleb and his ability to ace after a timeout.
Played some good volleyball in this first
And
set.
so Caleb is up to serve again.
And especially-
And so, you know, the coach is like, listen, guys, let's not worry it here. Let's serve hard. We are great at scoring out of these
I like the
timeouts.
words
So just,
coming
you know,
out
this is a
of
chance
the box
to
saying, hey, we've
even
been
it
great
out.
coming out of timeouts. This is a great opportunity to tie the score here.
Think back
Yep.
to a couple of misses early in this set. Sometimes it's those misses even at 3-1 that end up costing you towards the end.
Caleb
You
up
don't
to
have
serve.
enough of a lead to hang on through a little bit of a push.
Looking for the tie. Kwekel to the corner.
Of a push.
And there it is.
Looking for the tie.
Exactly what we're talking about. Not only is it an ace, but that is a perfect serve.
Just line to line.
Look at that. Look at that ball.
You cannot hit it any better.
You really can't. That's incredible. Okay, so now we're 20-20. As of late, and based off of things I've been learning recently, if I'm Caleb, I'm hitting him with the same serve, or at least trying to. If he just aced, why not do it again?
Must win by 2.
So he does go back to the line. This time it's closer to Taylor
He goes
Sander.
right back to the well.
Set off the net. It's a weird set. It's kind of like going that way. But able to fix it.
Good
Caleb gets a touch on the
Nice
block. Hustles for the
recovery and
pickup.
sends
Alvaro
it.
sends it over. Ta.Crabb setting again.
Sander.
Oof. And just absolutely unloads.
Sander.
Looks like maybe
Good
Caleb and
touch.
Alvaro
Nice
weren't
recovery
expecting
and
this
sends
tempo
it.
on the set. I don't know. It's not a
Sander.
low set by any means. I'm not sure. I wonder what the call was. Because it looks like
Sander.
Caleb goes for a 3 block or like a line block here, which leaves so much of this angle open. Obviously, it's a super sharp swing.
Unloads.
And that's tough. Yeah, he definitely goes for the line block, and I think it just kind of skates off his arm a little bit.
See that
and
reach?
gets
Set
him
point
that sharp angle.
opportunity for Crabb and Sander. He works the option, and
And
it's
rips the
perfect.
2 ball. Now we're at 21-21. Super tight game. Alvaro to serve.
Toss one to Ta.Crabb.
And yeah, that's really tough.
Toss one to Ta.Crabb.
Alvaro, just want to point this out. Small little defensive technique. Does a great job of like hitting a split step here. Knowing that so much of this court is open and Caleb's only going to be able to block so much. Doing a quick little split step to make sure he can try and get it, and he almost gets it
The
out.
soft stuff again, killing
Almost.
him slowly.
It's so tough because like he could swing, he could put it high line, he could go for the cut, he could shoot over the block like that. So many options to cover.
Puts a little extra side.
And after what must be a tough
And
float
killing
from
him
Ta.Crabb
slowly.
here. Actually, that's what is that?
Killing him
Jump?
slowly.
Hard on the cut. Yeah, so it's a topspin serve. And just to Alvaro's inside here, he's maybe even expecting Caleb to get it. I'm not sure. Split the court in half. It's a tough call.
Puts a little
Gets an
extra
ace to end
sauce
it.
on it. Ta.Crabb and Taylor Sander at the rainstorm monster block.
Yeah, just obviously a great game from all the guys. I mean, I think there's so much to learn from Ta.Crabb's approach. I think there's a lot to learn from like this strategy from Alvaro and Caleb here to try and stay in the game and just keep it going. It was clearly a super close game. You know, but probably a lot more to be studied as far as like the comeback. So it was like 10-15. What were the Taylors doing to, you know, keep the pressure on and maybe ramp up the energy a bit to make the comeback here? So yeah, great game. Hope you guys enjoy like the pro reviews. I think they're so much fun and there's so much to learn in watching them. I think again, it's so easy to just look at them and be like, oh, they're just so good. Like they just make it look so easy. But it's like, again, just because you're 6'5" doesn't mean you're going to be a perfect volleyball player. Like I think that's worth recognizing. There's so much you have to learn and train, and it takes years. And I think in watching their technique, we can all learn a lot. So, see you in the next one.